Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by Play Picks and the Lines, coming to you from the West Coast. Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast, and we are looking at a 5-game Saturday Christmas Day slate here, Nate. On this one, we are going to be talking about the Phoenix Suns hosting those Golden State Warriors. A bunch of players missing for Golden State. Everybody should be ready to play for Phoenix, so we'll be looking at some of that, how that's going to affect those lines and totals. Make sure that you are liked and subscribed to the page, as we got a video for each of those 5 games for Christmas Day. And as always, if you do still need a FanDuel or DraftKings account, head to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com and find those listings in your area, such as what we've got for tonight, or tomorrow rather. Nate, let's get into it.
Yeah, and shout out Juan Carlos Blanco for helping fill out the Play Picks article. We break down every game with picks there, and we will break down every game today in terms of videos. Plenty of opportunities to bet, plenty of injury news and COVID news to watch in all the games, including the Warriors, who are +6 at Phoenix because they have no Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, Andre Iguodala, or Damian Lee. And the Suns have everybody back, now that Devin Booker is off that hamstring injury. So that's the situation there. And the total is 217 as we speak. Looking at the other 4 games on Christmas, Hawks are +6 without Trae Young, Clint Capella, and others at the Knicks, total of 211 there right now. The Celtics are +3 at the Bucks with a 219 total. We're going to have to wait to see if Giannis will be cleared in time to play that one. The Nets missing a ton of guys, but we'll get James Harden, Paul Millsap, and Javon Carter back. That's enough bodies to play at the Lakers. They're -1 at Staples, total of 226. And then the Mavericks without Luka and other key guys are +12 at the Jazz, total of 214. And as we'll mention in that video, love the over there for Utah. In the Warriors Suns, though, we do not usually expect overs. These are the best teams in the NBA by all metrics, and especially on defense. And when they play each other, it tends to be kind of the best of everyone's defense, especially the best kind of containing Steph Curry, which the Suns do like no other team. In his last 7 against them, he's shooting under 30% from 3. We're talking about a guy who usually hovers around 40% against every team he faces, averaging just 18.6 points per game. And they're really only going to be able to stay alive in this stretch without, Poole and Wiggins. Their second and third leading scorers. If Steph can go off, they're 4-1 in their last 5 by shooting 39% from deep as a team, and Steph averaging 31 points per game in that span. But now you're facing a Suns team that in their last 5, all wins, has the best 3-point defense by far, holding teams to 25.5%. We've obviously established that they know how to guard Curry to a degree, thanks to Mikal Bridges, allowing the fewest assists per game and second fewest points per game in that span with the best rebounding rate. Denying assists is obviously key when you go up against the Warriors, who depend on a lot of home run passes, home run plays to get those shots open for Curry. And it's surprising that both these teams are turning it over so much, but the Warriors in particular in their last 3, over 18 turnovers per game. That spells trouble. And the Suns, they're just the best all-around team I think we've seen in the NBA. They're 21-2 in their last 23 games when Devin Booker plays. I mentioned the stats in the last 5. Book's been back for 3 games, and in that span, their offense has been unbelievable, 119 points per game. They're up to 2nd in pace, and their net rating is nearly +20. They're 15-2 straight up at home this season. They're 16-0 straight up after they get a day off. They're not quite as good against the spread in those situations. So that's why I would be looking for ways to tease this. I don't think the Warriors, tend to get blown out much, even if they're probably not going to be able to win this game. They've lost 4 of their last 5 in Phoenix. So if you want to tease it within this game, I would go down to Suns -2 and under the 221. Given how these teams, the Warriors actually allow the fewest points per game on the road as well, 102, and the Suns, denying points wherever they go right now. Or I would consider just teasing Suns down to -2 with your other preferred bet on this Christmas slate and, get some action that makes it fun to watch all 5 games.
Yeah, I'm trying to go under, honestly, in this game wherever I can. It kind of sucks. This is our third game in this awesome series, the two best teams in the league right now, and have been all season. And, we got robbed in the first one with Booker getting hurt there, and he wasn't in the second one. And that was a blowout for the Warriors, who you expected that. That was coming for them. They were pissed about the last game, and no Booker was just, leaving it wide open for them. In this one, now we're robbed of pretty much the three best scorers for the Warriors besides Steph, in Wiggins, Poole, and Damian Lee. And then obviously, what Iguodala brings in terms of his efficiency and floor, being a sort of second floor general when he's out there. But for this one, because of that, obviously the spread's at about 6. You don't like the Warriors to get blown out. But if Steph isn't carrying this team, then there's not much hope for them. That's how they won their last game against Memphis last night, which was a really nice win for them. But we saw Steph go for more than 40 and just pull them through on offense and drop 113 with him, his usage rate up about 35%. So if he's not able to do that against the Suns, then you worry about them being able to score and hang with them. And then you don't necessarily worry too much about, that they're the spread there at about 5.5, 6 points. And so honing in on what Steph has done as of late, we can go all the way back to 2 seasons ago. He's been pretty bad against the Suns specifically, especially for him, dropping 18.5 points a game, 5.5 boards and 5 assists, but he's shooting 29% from 3, 33% from the field. His plus minus is at about minus 17 against the Suns in his last 7. Even in the game that they did win earlier this year by 22, Steph didn't really need to do much in that one anyway. So it's not like that's a really great example. But his averages were still well below what he normally gets. And so with that in mind, that's their main hope in this one, is that Steph goes off in a way that can pull them through, because there's no other shooters on the floor now for the Dubs. And that was evident in their game against the Grizz the other night, where, look, they honestly didn't put enough bodies on Steph, did Memphis. But at the same time, like they really knew that if they just let nobody else score, they had at least some chance. And then Steph just did superhuman things. That's not going to be the case here. There's going to be plenty of guys all over. We've got Mikal Bridges, the stopper, on Steph in this one. So you like to think he's going under, and you like to think that, their total is going under. I'm not necessarily eyeing that total for the Dubs. I think I prefer, just taking that money line and under with the Suns there, getting about, I think we're at plus 235 here on FanDuel. Yeah, that's what we got. So, a plus 235 for that under with them to win, if you are scared of that spread. But I would also consider just taking that spread, honestly, at 5.5 right now. I do think, at the end of the day, if this game is about a double digit, game going into somewhere into the fourth quarter, now you're talking about Steph trying to pull. If he doesn't make it, now he's out for the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game because it's too far away. That would be my prediction for this one, is the Suns can get theirs, but they're going to be playing slowly and efficiently, and they're mostly just going to be stopping what the Warriors try to do on offense more than anything.
Yeah, it's certainly a scenario where, kind of like the Suns punted that second game without Booker, the Warriors just say, you know what, this isn't our night. We're missing 4 key guys. We'll see you in the Western Conference Finals. Precisely. Probably. But I would be scared, taking any team led by Steph Curry to lose by at least 6 points, the way he can will teams. And obviously he knows about these splits, and he wants to prove that he can still score against the Suns. The Grizzlies and Dylan Brooks did a great job on him in their last game, and he still hit these just absurd shots that just make no sense. But so even if Mikal Bridges can be in his face the entire time, he can still keep a team close. But I think that Draymond and that defense will keep the Suns offense in check. I mentioned the 119 points per game. I don't think they're getting anywhere near that in this matchup. So the under is definitely a fantastic option. You look at the Warriors. They're 10-4 to the under on the road. And you look at these teams combined when they play in this tough Pacific division, they're 13-1 combined to the under. So you got to like it. And you're looking at Steph, particularly though, if he doesn't get 25 points, I forgot to drop this nugget in the article, but the Dubs are 32-79 over the last 2 seasons when Steph Curry does not score at least 25 points. Not particularly surprising, but it's just quite a staggering losing percentage there. Obviously, they're going to depend on him even more with those guys out right now. And I think the Suns, with their full team, and they're just a lot more consistent, not depending on the 3-point shot, not even depending on free throws right now, which is what the Warriors do so well, limiting the opposition.
Right.
We talk about getting into the mid-range, getting into those gaps, and that's where they're going to be able to thrive with Devin Booker back now, as well as Chris Paul, and they're gonna be gunning for this win at home for sure, and I think they will certainly get it.
Yep, and DA is always a big factor to DeAndre Ayton when playing the Warriors. Is there's only a few guys in the league that are about 7 feet plus and big enough and agile enough to give Draymond Green trouble when he's playing that small ball 5, and you're going to see enough of that where DA is going to get his, as he's done in the last 3 or 4 games against the Warriors, where he's been so pivotal, getting double doubles in all those matchups. So I love that Steph stat. It's basically sums up what we've been saying here is if he can't score in a game like this where he doesn't have the help that he's used to as this season, then you're looking at problems for the Dubs, and the fact that he doesn't play well against the Suns and they have had his number for the last 3 seasons. It all spells win for the Suns here tonight. So that is all the time we have for today. Make sure you are liked and subscribed, as we've got a video up for each of these 5 Christmas Day games. And until we see you next, happy betting.